Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So one of the things that I want to quickly talk about is the market's kind of going back and forth. We started off in the green, we pulled on back, and then now we are somewhat recovering. We don't want to get too excited, but I thought that I would take this time and talk about a stock that I view a little bit more on the oversold side. I want to give a huge shout out to one of our Learn Plan Profit members. His name is Jake, and he is from Washington, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to talk about ticker symbol TM, which is Toyota. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it, have again looked into it, but please make sure that you learn a little bit more about it, just to make sure that you feel completely comfortable with what it is that it has to offer. But when looking at Toyota, or ticker symbol TM, on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that it's a little bit more on the oversold side based off of previous lows, but you can't really see the big picture. When you look at the day chart, this is why I find Toyota right now to be super attractive. One of the first things that I want to share with you is that Toyota is not indicating signs of a reversal just yet. So although it might look cheap, it can definitely get cheaper, right? It can still continue to sell off. And the only reason we're talking about it at this level is just based off of previous patterns and a current indicator, which is the moving average. It looks like it's oversold and at a potential support level. The MACD, the RSI, everything looks great. Now we just need it to actually show indication of a recovery. But because it's a good quality company, it's a very bullish stock over a big, grand scheme of things, I thought that I would talk about it. This thing doesn't offer a crazy return, but it's consistent and it's bullish over the big picture, and it offers a little bit over 12% if it were to make a recovery. I thought maybe for our swing traders or our investors that are looking for different places as the markets pull on back and where to put money, this could be something that might be up your alley, and or you can add it to your watch list and set effective alerts. So I went ahead and I added it to my oversold watch list, which is made up of different stocks that I view to be a little bit more on the oversold side. A lot of these companies are great quality companies, such as Google, such as Nike, Facebook, that are a little bit more on the oversold side, that are bullish and that are just waiting for indication of a recovery. But all I'm here to share with you is that even with Toyota, yes, the direction is in our favor big picture, but just because it's cheap doesn't mean that it can't get cheaper. And the reason I'm reiterating this is I don't want you to buy the dip, go all in, and then it continues to sell off, and then all you're doing is just hoping for the stock to recover. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group, we've talked about the 3 stages of a reversal. We've talked about position size, and if you decide to buy in early, to do it in a tasteful way with a 5 to 10% position so you can tolerate it if it continues to pull on back. Just make sure that you don't always take into consideration best case scenario, that it has to recover right away, and take into consideration and be realistic that it could take time to recover and or it can continue to sell off. So make sure that if you do decide to buy the dip when there's no indication of a recovery just yet, you do it in a way in which you can manage. So that's really just it when it comes down to Toyota. One of the things that I did want to talk about is TQQQ is looking like it's trying to establish a support level, and TQQQ follows the overall NASDAQ market, which has been a little bit more on, it's overall very bullish, but it has recently been pulling on back. And again, we're waiting for that overall indication of a recovery. Also, huge shout out to everyone that partook in Roku. I do have an open position on Roku. It's not super aggressive, but it is approaching the EMA line where it tends to get rejected. So although it looks great on the day, it's very important to understand the big picture. And we're approaching somewhat of a resistance level. So I just thought that it would be important for you guys to understand where it currently sits, even though it looks really good on the day, taking a step back and looking at the big picture, and that we are approaching a resistance level, big picture, as this thing has been making lower highs and lower lows. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you want me to break down the stock, if you want me to answer any question you might have, all you have to do is comment that down below. or you can refresh your screen, and the first link in the description is our free Facebook group. That will allow you to join over 314,000 members, and you can ask me any question over our private Discord chat. Also, if you want to be able to watch me trade live every single day, you heard me talk about them in this video. It's the Learn Plan Profit group, and they're the only team that I work with on a closer basis. So if you want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow at market open, click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about it, and see if our LPP team is a good fit for you. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.